My cherished child, hear with great intent the message I am speaking into your spirit right now. This is no ordinary moment, but a sacred decree from the very throne of heaven. This is a pivotal juncture in the eternal unfolding, where I, the righteous one, the omniscient judge, and the guardian of all truth and justice, am delivering the final judgment in your case. A matter long overdue, now irrevocably decided. I had once deferred this decision, allowing grace to extend its reach, hoping the other party would awaken, recognize their errors, and turn in genuine repentance. I waited patiently, knocking on the door of their heart, again and again, through tender whispers and unspoken nudges. Yet, as I observe the arrogance that still fortifies their heart, as I witness their rejection of the light in favor of the shadows of deception, I can delay no longer. My silence has never signified tolerance, and my mercy is not synonymous with endless indulgence. Therefore, today, from the incorruptible courts of heaven, a judgment has been rendered that will influence both their destiny and your path. My beloved, this judgment is not rooted in vengeance, but in divine release. It comes like a sword of righteousness, severing the unseen bonds that have kept you ensnared in distorted relationships, prolonged suffering, and nameless sorrow. I am lifting from you a burden you were never meant to bear, the emotional weight you have shouldered for far too long. This is the moment of your emancipation from the confusion of loyalty intertwined with hurt, from genuine love twisted into exploitation. My decision does not merely conclude a chapter. It opens a new season, a season where you are no longer defined by the wrongs of others, but by the restoration I am performing in you. I am placing you in your rightful position as one who has been restored, a bearer of light, entrusted with a divine calling that no one can replace or revoke. Though others may have chosen to part ways with you, know that in me, you have lost nothing. On the contrary, you are drawing nearer than ever to the fullness of your true identity, the one I crafted for you from the very beginning. And remember this, my dear one, I am the God of justice. Though your vindication does not require you to witness their downfall, rest assured that I will not allow injustice to stand. They will face the truth. They will encounter the light they once rejected. But that burden is no longer yours. Release them fully to me, as you have tried many times before. But this time, trust that I will carry them in my hands. You no longer need to guard what I am judging, nor protect what I am removing. I am no longer silent. I have seen the hardness of their heart, the pride that rises as a wall to block the light of truth. Though I have knocked, whispered, and extended mercy to awaken them, they have chosen to reject. Their hearts remain sealed, and in their defiance, they now face the full weight of the consequences they have long ignored. My beloved, this judgment is not born of bitterness, nor is it a desire for retribution. I do not seek vengeance. Release any desire for retaliation from your heart, and let me act in the fullness of my purpose. For what I do is not only for your good, but also for theirs. Should they choose repentance in the midst of their suffering, even at the late hour, there can still be redemption. But if they persist in resistance, my justice will stand firm, protecting those who belong to me from further harm. Now, I ask you to turn your gaze forward. Do not look back in regret. Do not seek to understand their choices, nor blame yourself for loving too deeply. Do not mourn the responses that never came. You have done what was right. You have loved as I love. Their response reflects their choices, not your worth. Precious one, as you receive these words today, allow your heart to rest in peace. Do not let sorrow cloud your spirit like a fog, obscuring the light. I know your heart is tender. I know how deeply your compassion runs, even for those who have caused you pain. I see that your anguish is not only for your own suffering, but also for what they will now face. I understand, for your heart mirrors mine, a heart that hopes for good, believes in transformation, and forgives without limit. But know this, I am the judge, the one who rules with flawless justice. I do not judge hastily nor act from a place of human emotion. All that I do is governed by eternal truth and boundless love. When I render a verdict, as I have today, it is not mere punishment. It is the merciful intervention of a father who refuses to allow his children to continue on a path of destruction. I take no pleasure in condemning anyone, nor do I rejoice when others face the bitter fruit of their choices. But true love cannot remain silent while a soul spirals into ruin. What you hear today is not a cold sentence. It is the voice of a father correcting the ones he cherishes. And though this correction may sting for a moment, know that it comes from a love that will never allow deception to be anyone's final fate. I know your desire for them has always been good. You have prayed, sacrificed, and silently endured, all in the hope that they would turn and see the truth. But there are times when I must intervene, not to punish, but to awaken them from their slumber, to disrupt the false peace they've built around their lies, to ensure that they no longer mistake my silence for approval, to bring them face to face with the consequences of their disobedience and their failure to love. My love never stands by idly, but presses forward with grace, mercy, and justice. I am both the judge and the redeemer. Trust that I will complete the work I have begun in you. You will see justice, but you will also see healing, restoration, and transformation. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. My love for you is unshakable, and I am with you always, through every moment, in every season. Rest, my beloved, for I am with you, and I am for you. My precious one, hear this closely, for it is a declaration that pierces the very depths of your spirit in this moment. This is a divine proclamation emanating from the throne of heaven itself. This is a sacred moment, a pivotal turning point in eternity, where I, the righteous one, the all-knowing judge, the keeper of truth and justice, declare the final ruling upon your matter, a decision that can no longer be postponed. There was a time when I delayed this moment, wishing to extend mercy and grace to the other party, giving them the chance to awaken and recognize their missteps, to return in true repentance. I waited with boundless patience, knocking on the door of their hearts over and over again through gentle whispers and silent warnings. But now, as I witness the pride that has hardened their hearts, as I observe their continued rejection of the light, I can wait no longer. Let my silence never be mistaken for leniency. My mercy is not endless indulgence. Therefore, from the incorruptible court of heaven, I have rendered a verdict, one that will affect both their destiny and your path forward. This ruling is not born of vengeance, but of liberation. It comes like a righteous sword, severing the unseen ties that have bound you in confusion, in unhealthy connections, in years of unspoken sorrow. I am lifting the weight that you no longer need to carry. I am removing the emotional responsibility that has burdened you for so long. This is your moment of freedom, the hour when you are released from the confusion between loyalty and injury, between true love and hidden exploitation. My dear, this judgment does not simply end a chapter, it ushers in a new season. A season where you are no longer defined by the wrongs of others, but by what I am making right in your life. I am placing you back in your rightful place, as one restored, a bearer of light, entrusted with a divine mission no one can revoke. Though they have chosen to walk a different path, you have lost nothing in me. On the contrary, you are drawing closer than ever to the fullness of the identity I always meant for you. And remember, I am the God of justice. While you do not need to see their fate to feel vindicated, I will not let injustice persist forever. They will face the truth. They will encounter the light they once fled from. But this burden is no longer yours to bear. Release them to me, as you have tried so many times before, and let me take them into my hands. You no longer need to protect what I am removing, nor guard what I am judging. I am silent no longer. I have seen the hardness of their hearts, the arrogance that builds a wall preventing the light of truth from breaking through. I knocked time and again, sent signs of mercy, but they refused to listen, turning away from my words, turning away from the very path of life I set before them. They have chosen to remain in pride, with ears that refuse to hear and hearts that reject the grace I offered. Now, from my throne of righteousness, I have issued a holy judgment. A judgment that is not influenced by emotion, not shaped by circumstance, but rooted firmly in truth and justice. This is not punishment from wrath. It is the rightful consequence of their repeated decisions. They did not choose repentance. They did not choose humility. They did not choose love. Instead, they chose a path built on pride, on self-sufficiency, and now they will walk that path to its inevitable end. The confrontation with consequences they never considered. My child, I know the hope that once filled your heart. I know that you longed for love to prevail, for forgiveness to melt their hardened hearts, for the day they would return in repentance and start anew with you. I have seen the pain behind your prayers, the desperation in your pleas for my patience, your whispers for a second chance for them. I heard you. I responded. I waited. I withheld judgment, out of love and because of your intercession. But now, as the time of grace reaches its fullness, I can no longer allow righteousness to be mocked. The verdict has been pronounced. They will reap what they have sown. What was hidden in the darkness will now be exposed. The lies that they wove to shield their wrongdoings, I will reveal. This is not a matter of bitterness. I do not seek revenge. Neither should you harbor a desire for retaliation in your heart. I ask you to release it all to me so that I may act fully. What I do is always for the best, both for you and for them. If they choose repentance amid the suffering, there will still be redemption, though it may be late. But if they resist, then my justice will stand to protect those who are mine from further harm. Now, turn your gaze forward, no longer looking back in regret. Do not try to understand their choices. Do not blame yourself for loving too much. Do not grieve over what was not returned. You have done what was right. You have loved as I love. Their response reflects the choices they made, not your worth. As you receive these words today, let your heart find peace. Do not allow sorrow to veil your spirit, for I know how tender your heart is. I understand your compassion, even toward those who have wounded you. Your pain comes not only from what you endured, but from what they now must face. I understand, for your heart mirrors mine, a heart that desires transformation, that forgives without holding back. But remember, I am the righteous judge. My actions are not swayed by emotion. They are rooted in eternal truth and love. When I render a verdict, it is not out of haste, but out of mercy, a loving intervention for a soul that has gone astray. What I do is not to destroy, but to dismantle the falsehoods, the pride, and the illusions that have kept them bound. It is out of love that I must allow them to face the truth they have long avoided. Let this not weigh heavily upon you, my child. I know this is not the outcome you longed for, the one you hoped would come. Yet, even in this, trust in my wisdom. I know what must unfold to bring them back, if they still wish to return. The judgment I have passed today is not destruction, but refinement. It is not to punish, but to clear the way for healing. They will walk through a difficult season, not as punishment, but as a process of shedding their falsehoods, their pride, and the layers that have kept them from knowing who they truly are. This is the beginning of restoration, the first step toward true healing. Remember, my love for you never falters. Rest in the peace I offer, knowing that I am with you. And as you continue forward, walk in the confidence that the land before you is one of beauty, renewal, and unshakable light. I am the righteous one, the good Father, and I will always be with you. It is not my aim to destroy, but to unveil the thick layers that veil their eyes, so they may finally behold the wound within their soul, one I have seen all along. My love for them compels me to bring them face to face with the full weight of their actions' consequences. This is not to shame them publicly, but for them to bow before truth, humbly and without pretense. Shame that leads to destruction is never my intention. Yet, the pain of realization, born from touching the illuminating light of truth, has the power to deeply transform. Only when someone understands how far they have drifted can they genuinely yearn for restoration. True restoration, my child, begins only when repentance is sincere. My forgiveness is ever present, always ready to be received. But the door to receiving it can only be unlocked by the key of humility. They must truly grasp the weight of their sin, not to live in eternal guilt, but to ensure they never return to that path again. No one can be healed if they don't acknowledge their wounds. No one can change if they believe there's no need for change. I will reveal truth to them, not through harsh words, but through circumstances, through moments that force them to stop and look within themselves. They will face loss, experience the ache of loneliness, and encounter the silence that no longer drowns in the noise of distractions. It is in that emptiness that I will gently enter. I will speak, not in wrath, but with a love that lingers, still waiting for their return. My precious child, I know this stirs your heart as well. You have always hoped for goodness, even for those who have hurt you. Time and again, you have pleaded with me to forgive them. You've borne pain that words fail to express, and I cherish that. You love like I do, without giving up easily. But now, you must let me do what only I can. You cannot bear the responsibility of their transformation. You are no longer bound by their choices. You have done your part with sincerity and faithfulness. Now, it's time for me to do mine. Rest, my child. Let go of burdens that are no longer yours to carry. Let me continue to work, not only in them, but in you as well. A new chapter unfolds before you, one where love is no longer exploited, faithfulness is met with worthiness, and you can walk in clarity and peace. And if one day they return with humility and true repentance, I will be there, ready to restore. But that, my child, is between them and me. As for you, continue forward. Keep trusting and step boldly into the land I am revealing to you. I have seen your faithfulness, and the reward I have prepared for you is nearer than you realize. You are my beloved, and I will never forget that. My precious child, as you step out from the shadows of the past, do not close your heart to those who once caused it to break. Even though they chose a different path, though they failed to treasure what you offered, I am calling you into a deeper dimension of forgiveness, one that not only releases but prays for the very ones who wounded you. I know this is difficult. I see the wounds you carry, the memories that linger, the questions that remain. I do not ask you to forget the pain, but to offer it as the substance of intercession. It is in your weakness that I pour out my strength. In every prayer you offer for them, not from forced emotion, but from a love that rises above pain, I see light sprouting. Pray for them, my child. The road ahead will be difficult, for when I expose truth and allow light to shatter darkness, nothing remains untouched. They will face themselves, confront the truth they once denied, and bear the weight of every misguided choice. It will be painful, a season of stripping, breaking down walls, collapsing. But I do not allow this to destroy them. I allow it so they may begin again on the firm foundation of true repentance. Pray that they have the courage to face the light, the strength to accept reality without deflecting blame, and that their eyes may open to see themselves as I see them, not as fallen, but as souls in need of redemption. For that confrontation is the first step toward their return. Your prayers, my child, carry immeasurable power. Never believe that your whispered pleas, silent, through tears, are meaningless. Every single word lifted to me, every humble plea, rises like incense before my throne. You, my child, are a vessel of righteousness. It is your intercession, your prayers in the face of pain, that move heaven. It is not your pain used as a weapon, but offered as a silent sacrifice that transforms hearts. I will take your prayers and plant them like seeds that will bear fruit. Though you may not see immediate change, know this: every prayer spoken in faith impacts the spiritual realm more powerfully than you realize. Keep praying, not from obligation, but from freedom, not to force change, but to offer the gift of sacred hope. You cannot walk the path of repentance on their behalf, but you can clear the way through your intercession. You cannot choose for them, but you can place them in my hands, day by day, with mercy and trust that I will do what is best for their souls. And as you do, healing will come to you. For to pray for others, especially for those who've hurt you, is a clear sign that you are no longer bound by the past, but walking in freedom. True freedom doesn't come from forgetting what has happened, but from refusing to let it govern you. And when you pray for them, your soul is lightened, drawn closer to my heart. I know there are moments when you grow weary, when your heart aches, and you want to forget. I understand. But even when you can only whisper, "Have mercy on them, Lord," that prayer becomes a brilliant light in the darkness. I will take it, multiply it, and pour it out on both their souls and yours. Do not stop. Every word you lift up shakes the heavens. Keep loving, keep interceding. Let your prayers become a bridge between failure and restoration. Let me use your voice to cleanse the layers of deceit clouding their souls. One day, you will see the results, not as you expected, but surely, you will witness how I turn pain into new life. You will rejoice, not only because they've changed, but because you did not allow sorrow to silence the light within you. You were chosen to carry love into the darkness, and I, the one who always listens, will act for the sake of love, for righteousness, and for your prayers. Now that the truth has been revealed and the verdict declared, I want your heart to rest in grace, knowing you are not meant to carry what doesn't belong to you. You were never responsible for others' wrong choices, nor meant to bear the consequences of their unfaithfulness. The love you gave, though it was not received as it should have been, remains a sacred expression of the life I've poured into you. My child, I need you to remember this. Don't let the dishonesty or absence of humility in others make you question the light within you. Your value is never determined by others' response, but by the one who breathed life into you. The light within you doesn't dim because someone turns away from it. In fact, in those moments of rejection, your light shines even brighter. Do not allow the past to hold you back, for what I am placing in your hands is alive. Don't try to revive what I've allowed to end, for in doing so, you'll miss the new beginnings I am unfolding before you. I am opening doors for you, not by your own strength, but by the power of my hand turning the key. These doors lead to healing, to a place where old wounds no longer bleed, but stand as testimony to restoration. I am leading you to a land of redemption, where all that was lost will be returned. Step forward, my child, into this new beginning with eyes wide open, heart stretched in trust, and hands ready to receive. This is not a reward for perfection, but the fruit of your faithfulness. I have seen your obedience through pain, your integrity through wrong, and for that, I will fill your life with treasures that no one can take from you. Do not fear the steps ahead, for you are not alone. Every step you take carries the whisper of my voice. Even when you feel weary, I remain your strength. And when all falls silent, I am still speaking to you. You don't need to understand everything to move forward. You only need to trust. As you trust, doors will open not only for you, but for others through you. You are not defined by another's failure, rejection, or wounds. You are anchored in the truth that you are my beloved one. I have redeemed you, forgiven you, and entrusted you. Now, as the past season closes, step confidently into the new, knowing you belong to an unshakable kingdom. All I have promised will be fulfilled. Go forth, with your head held high, your heart wide open, and your eyes fixed on the light. Let what no longer fits leave quietly. What I am renewing within you, no one can destroy. What I will reveal through you will astonish you. Every time I look upon your life, my heart overflows with joy. I am proud of you, not for perfection, but for choosing faithfulness when everything within you had the right to surrender. You walked through fire, not to be consumed, but refined. The fire burned away only what no longer belonged, and you emerged, pure and stronger than before. You have faced betrayal, and in that moment, you became more like me than ever. You chose love, not because they deserved it, but because you knew love is the only way to avoid slipping into bitterness. And in this, I see my spirit in you. It is my spirit who sustained you, lifted you, and whispered in the silence. I am with you, child, even when all seems lost. You are not a victim. You are a victor, and your victory resounds in eternity, anointed and set apart for a divine calling. My beloved, I see every trial you've faced and overcome. Nothing has escaped my notice. As you transition from the old season, I don't see mere scars. I see resilience. I don't see only what you've lost. I see a heart that has expanded, ready to receive more. I don't see only what ended. I see a fresh beginning rising from the ruins that once seemed irreparable. Guard that pure heart of yours. Do not let the world tarnish the sacred innocence I've preserved within you. Keep believing, keep loving, keep moving forward, for each step you take now is not just for your own life. It becomes a beacon for others to follow. Many will find healing in your journey. Many broken hearts will find their path back through the light you carry. And that is why I did not allow you to be destroyed. You are the vessel I have chosen to bring light into places where darkness once reigned. My precious child, know this, I am deeply proud of you. Not because you've never stumbled, but because each time you fell, you rose again. Not because you've never wept, but because through your tears, you continued to pray. Not because the world sees you as strong, but because in your weakest moments, you surrendered to me. That is power. That is beauty. That is the glory being revealed in your life. A beauty that cannot fade, cannot be stolen, and cannot be hidden. I love you with an everlasting love, and I am preparing to lead you into the season I promised, a place where righteousness blooms, where joy overflows, and where you will know in the deepest part of your being that everything you endured, everything you lost, and everything that once caused you pain was not in vain. For I, the one who began a good work in you, will see it to completion in the most glorious way. And now begins the fulfillment of that promise. You are the one I love, the one I have chosen, the one in whom my heart delights. Now that you have passed through the refining fire, now that the old door has closed and a new dawn breaks upon the horizon of your soul, I call you to step into this new era with a heart full of conviction and a posture of holy confidence. Not the pride of man, but the assurance of one who knows they are protected, set apart, and sealed by me, the eternal Creator who calls you his own. From this day forward, from this very moment, I commission you to walk as one established by heaven. Stand tall, lift your head high, and set your gaze firmly ahead. No longer bent in shame, no longer looking back in regret, for yes, I am the one who guards your soul. I am the wall of fire that surrounds you day and night, the shield that deflects every poisoned arrow the enemy tries to send your way. You do not walk alone. You do not fight in your own strength. With every step you take, angels march beside you. With every word you speak, my spirit breathes life into it. Every action you take in my name carries divine weight, which no power on earth can resist. For when I speak, the heavens bend low in witness, the stars fall silent in reverence, and the earth quakes in anticipation of fulfillment. My child, my word will never return void. Every promise I have spoken over your life is an eternal covenant sealed by my power. They are not vague hopes or empty words like those mortals speak. They are things I have seen, decreed, and prepared before you ever drew your first breath. And now, I will bring them to pass, each one in perfect timing, without hindrance. No matter how many schemes the enemy devises, no matter how the world may turn its back, no matter how many false accusations are whispered in the shadows, no weapon formed against you will prosper when you stand within my protection. For I do not shield you with mere mercy, I shield you with justice. I do not merely defend you with tenderness, I war for you with power. The venomous words, the judging glances, the double-tongued voices that once condemned and belittled you, every single one of them will be exposed by the light of truth. And I will place words of divine wisdom in your mouth, so you will no longer suffer in silence, but rise, not in wrath, but in authority, to refute every false judgment spoken against you, not to justify yourself, but to bear witness to the work I am doing in your life. Every word you speak, when led by my Spirit, will be like an arrow piercing the darkness, making way for truth to rise and shine. This is the inheritance I give to those who belong to me. Faithful servants, courageous sons and daughters, souls who refuse to yield to the shadows but stand firm in the light. This is not the reward of the many, but of the few who did not retreat in desolation, who were not buried by disappointment, and who did not let betrayal harden their hearts. Your righteousness, my child, does not come from always being right, from always being strong, or from deeds or praise the world may offer. Your righteousness comes from me alone. It is a gift I have clothed you with, the righteousness of the one who knew no sin, so you may stand before me unafraid and before the world undefiled. Therefore, my beloved, do not doubt any longer. Do not question your worth. I have declared you chosen, and no one has the authority to strip that from you. Hold fast to your faith, not in your own ability, but in my power. Live as one who belongs to a kingdom that cannot be shaken, one who bears a mark that cannot be erased. And as you walk in this truth, the earth shall witness the fulfillment of what I have destined for you, brought to life before the eyes of many. Your time has come. This is the season when what was once delayed begins to move. This is the time when hidden dreams will begin to bloom. This is the moment when the desires I etched into your heart shall rise with new life. You are no longer defined by rejection. You are no longer bound by the past. You are stepping into a reality shaped by my word, a reality unshakable because it was birthed from the eternal realm. I, the one who began the good work in you, will not stop until I bring it to completion in glory. So rise, my beloved, lift your head high and walk forward with courage, for I am your defender, the one who speaks, the one who moves, and the one who will fulfill every promise I have made to you. For I am faithful, and my word never returns void. You are mine, and that truth shall be made evident so plainly that no one will be able to deny it. Now, my precious one, as you step into the land of what is to come, know that I am moving profoundly, intricately, and powerfully to redirect every current in your life toward what nourishes your soul, not by the world's standards, nor by your past desires, but according to my eternal wisdom, a divine orchestration woven with mercy, righteousness, and unshakable love. I am transforming not only your circumstances, but the deepest parts of your being. The places where you once wept in solitude, I will turn into fields of song. The sorrow that once hovered like a dense cloud, I will dissolve with my light of grace. A light that not only melts the frost, but turns every tear into seeds of new harvest. The joy I give does not stem from favorable circumstances, but from my abiding presence. Joy deeper than earthly happiness, joy that cannot be stolen. The places once marked by loss, the things you thought were lost forever, I will restore. But know this, my restoration does not merely return what was lost. I elevate you into something greater. I will not return you to the old. I will lift you into the new. Where betrayal once stained your life, where you were wounded by those you trusted, I will raise something new. Not only will I heal those wounds, but I will redefine relationships, placing people in your life who are not here to exploit you, who will see you as I see you. Chosen, anointed, and appointed to walk beside you in a divine purpose. These people will not just occupy space in your life. They will walk with you, share the spiritual weight of your journey, and support the unfolding of your destiny. And when that time comes, you will no longer question your worth or strive to prove your value. I will place within your heart a deep peace, a knowing that you are valued not by others' perceptions, but by my declaration. Before the foundations of the world, you were the one I loved, the one I chose. My love is not mere sentiment. It is action. It is the force that protects, heals, and now transforms your life. Open your heart wide. Do not be afraid to welcome love again. Do not let past experiences block the blessings I long to pour out. Allow me to continue writing your story with redemption and beauty beyond measure. I will not replace what was lost with a mere imitation. I will give you something better, something more fitting for the person you have become. Where there were once tears, there will be songs. Where there were wounds, life will spring forth. And where betrayal once left its scar, I will establish a faithfulness so steadfast, your heart will no longer tremble, but rise in strength, freedom, and true love. Now is your time, not only to stand firm in the truth, but to be a vessel of that light to those whose hearts are broken as yours once was. There are many yearning for hope, wandering in darkness. You have tasted my faithfulness, and now I call you to be the vessel through which my life-giving waters flow to those parched with hopelessness. Guard your heart, for from it flows the wellspring of spiritual life. Do not let anything stain the purity I have woven into you. Your heart was not meant to carry bitterness or heaviness. It was meant to pulse with compassion, sincere love, and unshakable mercy. Do not let doubt cloud the flame I ignited in you, for you are destined to rise and shine as a beacon of hope to a world that desperately needs it. In the darkest hours, when you felt like surrendering, you didn't realize that every silent tear, every whispered prayer in your despair, and every moment of stillness, when you chose to stay quiet rather than react, were moments I used to shape the light within you. This light is not born of the world, and the world cannot extinguish it. It arises from unwavering faith and the unchanging love of the one who created you with infinite tenderness and boundless power from on high. Now, this light will shine brighter than ever, not to prove anything to others, but to testify that I am the faithful God. Those who place their trust in me will never face shame. You will no longer feel the need to defend yourself or prove your worth through hasty actions or sharp words. I will speak for you, and your life will become a living letter written with truth and grace, one that those who once dismissed you will no longer be able to ignore. Those who doubted you, those who turned away when you needed them the most, will not be able to deny what they are about to witness. It will not be revenge, but a divine testament of my intervention. They will see you rise from the ashes, not cloaked in glory earned through status or recognition, but in the radiance that comes from clinging to me when all else fell away. They will behold my love wrapped around you like an unshakable robe, a love that not only heals your wounds, but fills the room with the brilliance of my presence. Do not condemn them. Leave judgment to me. They will see you walk in supernatural peace and joy, a peace not dependent on circumstances. They will realize you are not of this world. They will understand that there is a presence, a power, who has been with you through your darkest days. And in that moment, when no denial remains, they will know beyond a doubt that you belong to me, not to bring them low, but so that they, too, might witness grace and be transformed. Even in your wounds, you remained a vessel of forgiveness. Even in your rejection, I used you as an invitation for them to return. When they see this, they will confront the darkness within their own hearts. It is not you who changes them, but me, the one who lit your soul with enduring love, calling out to them through your very life. My beloved, I have never forgotten the times you stood alone, amidst mocking laughter and chilling silence. I have seen every pain too deep for words, every moment you questioned whether you were still worthy of love. And now, I will answer by causing you to walk in a glory no one can deny. I will bring you to a place where the voice of the enemy has no authority. I will open doors before you that no one can shut, and I will place in your hands what eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and hearts have not imagined. Keep your heart tender. Do not let the light become prideful, for the higher you are lifted, the more you must remember it is I who brought you there. Let your light shine into the darkness so that others may find their way home. Do not forget the days when you fell to your knees, for that memory will cause you to bend low and lift others, not in judgment, but in mercy. This is the season in which I am revealing you, not for the applause of the world, but so my name may be glorified. Every step you take is a declaration that I am faithful. In this way, you become a living testimony to a world that is weary and longing for hope. As you walk in the light, you are not only emerging from your own darkness, but clearing a path for others to follow. Therefore, do not be afraid when the light begins to shine brighter. Do not fear when you are lifted to higher places, for it is I who raise you up, and I who will keep you steady. No one can pull you down if I have lifted you up. No one can extinguish your light if I have ignited it with the very breath of heaven. Remember this: you belong to me, not only in the easy days but in the darkest nights. Not only when you are strong, but when you tremble. I am the one who does not change, and the light within you will never be extinguished. It will blaze like the noonday sun until every knee bows and every tongue confesses that there is one, the living one, who has been with you, and you are his forever. Unchangeable, unshakable. Nothing can separate you. Nothing can erase that truth. You are mine, and that truth will be revealed openly before all. I am releasing into your soul a new flow, strong, pure, and full of life. It is not a fleeting emotion, but a ceaseless stream of living water that touches the hidden corners of your heart, places once made desolate by pain, barren from betrayal. I am placing within you a vitality that comes from the heights of heaven, a restoration no power can hinder, a renewal that does not come from human effort, but from my kindness. I, the one who makes all things new. You will begin to feel every cell within you come alive again, every weary part of your spirit awakened by eternal truth. You will no longer be just a survivor of the storm, but one reborn from the ashes, carrying the strength of the one who resurrects. The weariness that once clung to you like a dense fog will be driven away by the light I ignite from within. That very flame will warm the hearts of those around you, and rekindle hope in those who had ceased to believe in goodness. I am awakening in you a sacred longing, not for recognition, but to serve as I have called you. You will feel a deep love rise within you, a love not born of surface emotion, but birthed from being loved unconditionally by me. That love will pour out like refreshing water from dry stone, flowing into the darkest corners of lives desperate to touch the divine. You will begin to see the world not through the worn lenses of pain or suspicion, but through eyes filled with compassion. I am teaching you what it means to serve from a heart that has been healed, so that every act you do is not merely a duty, but an expression of my love through your life. Whether it's a gentle embrace, a silent prayer, or a hidden act of kindness, each will become a beam of light guiding the lost back home. Then, you will rise, no longer held back by words of rejection or glances of doubt. You will stand not in hardness formed by self-defense, but in the tender strength of one who knows they are protected by the Eternal One. You will walk unafraid of the winds of criticism or the storms of the past, because your feet now stand on the solid rock of faith. Your eyes will no longer search for human approval, for your heart will be overflowing with the affirmation that comes from heaven. Nothing can shake you anymore, for your confidence no longer comes from your own perfection, but from the deep knowing that I have chosen you, called you by name, and woven for you a divine destiny that no one else can fulfill. That destiny is not a path of ease, but one of glory, where every step you take leaves a mark of grace. Every word you speak becomes a stream of life, and every glance you give carries my presence. You will no longer live trying to escape pain, but will live to reach the souls who cry out silently. You will no longer be bound by memories of the past, for I have placed in your hands a new beginning, a blank page. I am writing it with you. No one can erase the story I am inscribing upon your life, for my hand does not tremble and my purpose never wavers. As you embrace your destiny, you will understand that you were not born to merely survive in weariness, but to live fully and victoriously. You will stop asking, "Am I enough?" Because now you know that I am your fullness. Everything you lack, I will supply. Everything you need, I will provide. And everything you surrender, I will sanctify and use as a vessel of my glory. My child, lift up your eyes. The sky is no longer shadowed as before. Open wide your heart to receive the new I am bringing. I am not leading you back to where you started, but forward to the land I have promised, a land not only for personal restoration, but where you will become a voice of comfort, a hand of healing, and the heart of divine love to a generation thirsting for truth. Do not let shame continue to bind your soul like a silent ghost whispering lies that you are unworthy, that you are not enough. Do not allow the past to become an invisible prison that holds you back from stepping into the destiny I have prepared for you. I do not see you through the lens of your past mistakes. I see you through the unchanging love of my heart, a love sealed with every drop of blood and every breath upon the cross. I am not surprised by your stumblings. I knew there would be moments when you would falter, times when you would choose the wrong path, say the wrong words, do things that grieve my heart. But my love was never withdrawn. Even when you turned away, I stood there waiting. Even when you condemned yourself, I opened my arms to embrace you. Because you are not defined by your failures, but by the one who paid the highest price to redeem you. Your past has no authority over your future. Only I do. And I have called you beloved, forgiven, and anointed for a great purpose. Break free from the chains of shame, for they do not come from me. They are the voices of the enemy, of the past, of those who cannot see the work I am doing within you. Do not let them take up space in your heart any longer. You do not need to strive to repay your past mistakes, for I have already carried them all upon my body. Every drop of blood I shed was so you could be free. Every wound I bore was to heal the pain you've hidden deep inside. You no longer need to run. You no longer need to hide the parts of yourself you think are too broken or too shameful. Bring it all to me: the sorrow, the regret, the tears cried in the night when no one else could hear. I have been waiting for you to come to me, not in perfection, but with a heart that is broken, because it is in that very brokenness that I can create something new. I do not need your masks or your explanations. I only want you to come as you are, fully and honestly, so that I may piece you back together with the love that flows from my own heart. My child, lift up your eyes. Do not keep looking back on days gone by with regret. The past cannot be relived, but this present moment, the very instant you are reading these words, is an opportunity to begin again. Not just a fragile new beginning, but one born of power and grace. You no longer have to live as one bound in chains. Live instead as one who has been redeemed. There is no need to run from painful memories. Face them with the courage that comes from my boundless mercy. I offer you a new beginning, not because you have earned it, but because my love is never measured by merit. It surpasses every human standard. Step forward now, free from the grip of regret. Each step you take within my forgiveness is a step closer to true freedom. Freedom is not the absence of hardship, but the peace that abides within it, the joy that lingers even when tears still rest on your cheeks. Receive my forgiveness as a priceless gift, not something to be earned or proven. Let it sink deep into your soul. Let it wash away the accusations that kept you awake at night. Let it soothe the silent wounds you have hidden for so long. Let my forgiveness become the foundation of enduring peace, the rock upon which you will rise and rebuild. You are not a prisoner of your mistakes. You are a living testimony of grace. You are no longer defined by the moments you fell, but by the one who raised you in resurrection power. And as you allow me to heal you, you will not live only for yourself. You will become an instrument of healing for others. Your scars will tell a story of forgiveness, not shame. Your tears will become the water that brings life to those whose hearts have grown dry. Do not let trivial pursuits, fleeting desires, or enticing yet empty voices lead your heart astray. Do not be swayed by what fills the shell but hollows the soul. For if your soul is not anchored in me, then all you build, no matter how grand, will be like castles in the sand, dazzling for a moment, yet easily washed away by the tides of life. You were created to live for a higher purpose, not to chase glamour or seek the applause of forgetful eyes. I did not call you to grasp what the world exalts, but to touch the hearts of people with genuine love. Your calling is not to pursue fame, but to sow the glory of heaven into everyday moments, where love is the foundation and presence is the greatest gift you can offer. So pause, my beloved. Even in the rush of life, return to what may seem small but holds eternal value. Your family, those who have always stood quietly beside you, loving you through the storms and the calm. Look deeply into their eyes. Listen to what cannot be said aloud. Learn to love not only with words, but with actions, with patience, with daily compassion. Remember, no career, no recognition can ever replace a warm hand held, a well-timed embrace, or a silent prayer whispered for someone you love. Be present, not merely in body, but with your whole heart. Let your eyes not only look at them, but truly see them. Let your voice not simply speak to them, but genuinely uplift them. Let your presence become a sanctuary for their soul in the days of weariness. Do not wait until everything has passed to recognize the value of those I have placed beside you as sacred gifts. There is no treasure more precious than love that is given without condition, flowing freely, not because it is deserved, but because it is your nature to love. That, beloved, is the true measure of a life well spent. I am beckoning you. Invest not just your fleeting hours, but the deepest wells of your emotions and the rarest treasures of your soul. Pour them lavishly into your family, into those whose laughter ignites warmth within your very being, whose simple nearness breathes life into your weary spirit. even when the world beyond your door runs cold. Cherish every heartbeat, for no breath can be drawn twice. A shared meal, a whispered prayer, a glance shimmering with unspoken understanding. These humble offerings, steeped in love, become the sacred stones of a spiritual legacy no flood of time can ever sweep away. Through these seemingly ordinary acts, you plant seeds of eternal light, not with grandiose proclamations, but with a life intentionally lived, love above hurry, grace over ambition, presence over pretense. Children will learn by the quiet patience in your eyes. Spouses will find healing through your attentive presence. Future generations will remember you, not for titles nor accolades, but as one who chose the narrow path, who counted time as holy, who offered love as worship. Therefore, my beloved, barter not the eternal for the fleeting. Let not a hurried compliment rob you of a much-needed embrace. Let no passing clamor steal the sacredness of prayer whispered within your own walls. Choose the better portion, the one no thief can ever steal. It is not found under stage lights, nor in the roar of applause, but around your own table, in the stillness of gratitude, in the courage of saying, I love you, with no fear or shame. I see you when you step away from fame to dry another's tears. I see you when you sit quietly beside a weary heart, instead of chasing after the illusion of success. I see you, and I remember, for I am the one who never overlooks a love-drenched sacrifice, and these silent offerings will one day adorn your eternal crown. Live as though every moment with your loved ones is a miracle. Love as though tomorrow is a whispered dream. Give the best of yourself, holding nothing back. For every act of pure love is the very work of heaven made visible on earth. And I, the one who loves you beyond the grasp of language, will bless every seed you plant in faith. For love never falls into emptiness. It always leaves behind a living, breathing legacy. My beloved child, in a world swirling with crossroads and clamor, I urge you, remain faithful. Be unmovable, even in the smallest of tasks. It is there, yes, in the unseen, in the unnoticed, that loyalty is forged, perseverance honed, and unbreakable resilience born. Beware, for it is not always the thunderous storm that leads astray, but the gentle, persistent drift of small compromises. True greatness often wears the cloak of the ordinary, enduring on mundane days, showing patience to the difficult, breathing prayers no ear but mine ever hears. Despise not these small things, for they are the hidden beams upon which I am constructing my kingdom within you. Do not lose sight of the mission I set before you. I know the weariness, the whispered doubts. Does this even matter? But hear me, no act of obedience is ever wasted. Every quiet choice for me moves heaven itself. Angels mark it. My heart stirs at your steadfastness. Turn away from barren arguments and empty pursuits. There are battles you win simply by refusing to fight them. There are conversations not worth your breath. You were not sent to argue. You were sent to shine. Guard your mind like a vigilant gatekeeper. Let not the seeds of doubt or despair take root in the garden meant for my light. When sadness presses in, resist it with my truth. When the enemy whispers you are not enough, shout back what I have spoken. You are my beloved, fearfully, wonderfully crafted, with purpose that echoes into eternity. Lift your soul with gratitude. Gratitude that does not arise because life is perfect, but because faith dares to thank me even in drought, even in brokenness. That is where your roots grow deep into my rock. You are not alone in the fight. When darkness crowds in, stand firm. I defend you better than any fortress ever could. I do not sleep. I do not abandon. My promises do not waver with the seasons. Though human hearts may fail you, though the ground beneath may tremble, I remain the unchanging one, holding you steady as I always have. When you do not see me moving, Trust. I am at work in secret places, like seeds unseen beneath the earth, preparing to burst into bloom. Persevere. Trust in the silence. Walk when you cannot see. Every faithful step thunders a declaration into the heavens. I belong to the King. Your reward does not come from human hands. It comes from mine. Guard your heart. Walk worthy of your calling. Rest not in impatience, but in unshakable faith that what I have begun in you, I will bring to radiant completion. The final chapter will outshine all the rest.